everyone. I promised an in-depth garden update, and that's coming up in this episode. Without further ado, let's go on a garden tour. I wanted to soften the fence of the garden here on the outside, so in between these rocks that I've put against the fence to prevent the dogs from digging under the fence, I sowed some more sunflower seeds and some nasturtiums as well. But these sunflowers on the outside are looking really sad because the dogs keep eating them. And then some of the sunflower seeds fell through. So you'll see that's a sunflower right there. And that was sowed at the same time as the baby ones you see out here. And that's because the ones on the outside are taking a hammering. The dogs are eating them. And the ones that fell through and are growing on the inside are looking really healthy and tall. We've also planted some grenadillas along this fence, 2 actually, and as you can see, this one has actually come through. This branch came through on this side and it's attached itself to the fence on this side, so I'm just going to leave it to grow through the fence. That's okay. It will also help to soften this fence. So I've got to look for maybe flowers or something that'll grow here on the outside just to soften this a little bit. Then on the inside we've got this really tall fig tree. I think it's a Godota variety. I hope I've got that right. It has some fruit on it, but we're not really after the fruits this season. We just want the trees to establish themselves and be healthy. I know that they will produce in the seasons to come, but we do have some fruit there. So this is taller than me. It's almost 2 meters tall. Craig also helped me build some smaller boxes that we've put here along the side of the garden. In this box I just planted clover just to have something in it, and the chickens can enjoy that when we let them out. I've got another zucchini. In this box we have some peas growing here at the back. They're not tall enough yet to attach themselves to the fence, but they'll get there. And I think I had beetroot in this box, but this was one of our mishaps. The pigeons came and ate all the baby seedlings, and there was a day that I didn't water the garden. Craig was away. I messed up. I didn't water 2 days actually, and most of the seedlings died. So I had to sow some seeds in this box again, and I think these are radishes and some lettuce and rocket growing there on that side. Over here we have our pomegranate tree, or it's actually classified as a shrub, not a tree. It's got some lovely new growth on this tree. It has been flowering, but it sheds its flowers, so no fruit set. I'm not sure if the tree is in stress or if it's normal. I'll have to do a little bit of research. I've never grown a pomegranate before. We are going to try and espalier the pomegranate on this fence. That means we just train it to grow flat against the fence instead of bushy, and I would need to prune the tree or the shrub a bit in order to do that, but we just for now letting it grow a bit. That's a borage growing there. In this box some more radish. Let's look at this nice big radish. Look at that. This one's split. Could be watering issue, heat. Maybe we just let it go for too long. But yeah, some more radish in there. Another zucchini. I had leftover zucchini, so I just stuck them in spaces that we didn't have anything growing. Artichokes. And I planted some beans along here, which are just germinating now. Well, I only stuck the beans in the ground earlier this week, so they do germinate quite quickly, and I'm hoping that they'll reach the fence quite soon. Down this little gap I just chucked more sunflower seed. As you can see, the ones there at the back are quite small compared to this one and compared to these ones. They were all sown at the same time, but those ones there hardly get any sun. They would need to reach the height of the deck before they get sun, and I think they're struggling a bit. So it just shows you the importance of sunlight with these plants. On this side of the garden, the blueberries are looking good. They are showing some new growth and some new flowers forming, which means new blueberries will come soon. But it's the first time I'm growing blueberries. I've not done that before, so I'm keeping an eye on them. We didn't transplant them. They are still in their pots. This helps us to control the acidity of the soil. They like more acidic soil, and by keeping them in the pots I can control the acidity of the pots, potting soil in the pots, and I don't necessarily have to add anything to the soil in the garden. I may decide to move them. We'll see if they start showing signs of stress, maybe due to the sun being too hot, or in the winter time when it gets cold and frosty, we can also move them indoors or move them to a different spot. We moved the swing into the garden area for the kids, so they love coming out here while the adults are enjoying a cup of coffee on the deck late afternoon. The kids are here swinging or chasing chickens or something. Lots of sunflowers, which I've shown you before. The sunflowers all along the chicken pen. And here in this garden area we've got our lemon tree. Lemon tree is not happy. It was shedding a lot of its leaves, lower leaves here on these branches, because I suspect that the mulch that I put on the ground I put right up to the trunk of the tree, so that means it kept the soil moist for long periods of time. And citrus and lemon trees in particular don't like wet roots, so they do prefer the soil drying out a bit. And what I did was I just scraped the mulch away from the bark or the stem of the tree. So this is exposed soil, meaning that it dries out quicker, and it seemed to have stopped the leaves from dropping. So I'm hoping that we caught that issue in time and that the lemon tree will grow stronger. I also stuck some beans earlier the week next to this pole holding the tree upright, so this can maybe grow up against the pole, and the same over here. Did the same there. In these boxes we've got more zucchinis, we've got spinach, we have a mixture of rocket and lettuce growing here on the sides, and I also have a tomato plant on this end and another tomato plant on that end. These are bush varieties, so that means that they only grow to a certain height. The specific variety is called Roma. It's the Roma tomato. It's a smaller, it's not a cherry tomato, but it's a smaller tomato, and it's often used in salsas and for preservation, maybe some jam, because with this variety all of the tomatoes will ripen at the same time. It's just starting to flower now, and I do see a few, I don't know if you can see that. Let me just try and zoom. There we go. If you can try and look at this fruit. There we go. There's a Roma tomato forming already. And zucchinis are looking healthy. There's plenty of them In this box, predominantly zucchinis, baby marrows as we also call them, with some sunflowers there at the back also. In this box we've got more tomatoes, planted in the center, 3 tomato bushes. Here in front I've got some basil, and I tried to sow carrots, 2 rows of carrots. Here you see a baby carrot. There we go, there's the foliage, but they've been very slow growing and not really a success this time round. Here at the back we've got some chilies, cayenne peppers, and some bush beans. As you can see here, the bush beans are growing nicely as well. Grace, let's give that to the chickens, my darling. I'll open the gate for you. You can go in and give the chickens scrap food. There we go, well done. What is that, Gracie? It's eggshells, and what else? I see some leftover apple, peppers, avocado, skin, and tomato. You think the chickens will like it?
Chickens, come and eat your lunch.
Come eat your lunch, chickens. Let's give them some space. I'm sure they'll come. I'm sure they'll come. Well done. Although the garden is looking beautiful, I can assure you that we have had a fair share of setbacks and disappointments. So I just wanted to encourage you that although we go through setbacks in life and some really low points, as long as we keep on keeping on, the net effect is positive, despite the valleys and setbacks that we have in between. So I hope that encourages you to keep on pursuing your dream and make things work. So I'll tell you a little bit more about those mishaps in a next video. Until then, take care.